Everyone, all the management team, please, on the stage. Thank you all HODs and have a great evening. Hope to see you around it.
Distinguished guests, CAS Honourable Joseph Boynet, the President of Puntland, His Excellency Saeed Abdullahi Dani, on behalf of Leisure Park Development and our shareholders, I warmly welcome you to the grand opening of our Radisson Blu Hotel and Residence, Arboretum, Nairobi. We are really pleased that you could all take the time to be here this evening. When we began this project many moons ago, we never anticipated the monumental task that lay ahead of us. We produced over 19 iterations of the building design and countless studies before we were satisfied. Sometimes it felt like a never-ending work in progress, but it did finally end into this beautiful masterpiece that we are experiencing tonight. But not without much perspiration, palpitations, and tears. Thomas Edison once said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Believe me when I say that this building represents that 99%. Our vision for this landmark was inspired by the Arboretum Park. Every detail in this property was inspired by the trees and the natural surroundings, so that rather than being a loud statement, we wanted it to blend into the locality with a sustainable approach. We are very grateful for our financial partners, IFU and Barclays, for supporting us. And of course, to the Radisson Hotel Group for partnering with us and guiding us during the construction phase. We're happy to see that the hotel has been well received by the market so far, and we thank all our staff for always giving our guests the best experience. During construction, 600 people were employed to work on the site at any given day. And today, the hotel continues to employ over 100 staff members directly, with more employment being generated further down the value chain. We had a project design team of over 50 consultants, subcontractors, service providers, and suppliers, many of whom are here today. And I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for turning our vision into this beautiful reality. Our journey continues, and as part of our corporate social responsibility, we are working closely with Arboretum Park to bring it up to a higher standard. Before closing, please allow me to express my deepest gratitude to our main contractor, D. Manji. Deepak, Harish Pai, Narendra Pai, Jignesh, Devshi Pai, Eliud, Lawrence, and Gerald. These men worked tirelessly on this project day and night and never left our side. They went above and beyond in every way you could imagine to complete the building to the highest quality, to meet international standards. Each and every single stone block in this building had to be individually rotated to achieve the beautiful curves that you see around you. They deserve a huge round of applause, please. This development demonstrates that we do have amongst us an exceptional pool of talent in Kenya, and they should be encouraged and supported more. Hospitality is one of the most exciting industries to be in right now, both globally and locally, with Nairobi being East Africa's most cosmopolitan city and Kenya's beating heart. On behalf of Leisure Park Development, we sincerely thank you for coming and wish you a great evening. Thanks.
Ambassadors and distinguished guests, as they say in Kenya, Jambo Sana. On behalf of Radisson Hotel Group, I would like to welcome you all especially our guest of honor, Honorable CAS Joseph Boyet, respected guests and members of the media. The Radisson Hotel Group opened its first hotel in November 2015. And 4 years later, we are thrilled to open the doors of the third hotel and the first extended stay product in Nairobi, the Radisson Blu Arboretum Hotel and Residence. This hotel, which is further entrenching in the country and Africa's fastest growing hotel brand, Radisson Blu is already a front runner in the Nairobi and introducing the first international branded extended stay product in the city. Currently active in 32 of our 54 countries in Africa. Almost 100 hotels open and under development as we speak right now. Behind me are the accolades of Radisson in Africa. You can just read through them. This hotel perfectly complements our other two properties in Nairobi, the Radisson Blu Upper Hill and the Park Inn by Radisson in Westlands. Nairobi is the economic powerhouse of East Africa and is large enough to offer multiple Radisson Hotel Group brand of hotels, including the Residence. Adding to our third hotel in Nairobi is in line with our expansion strategy of adding depth of our focus countries within multiple properties and multiple product offering within Africa. Staying true to the Radisson Hotel Group responsible business philosophy, Radisson Blu Arboretum Hotel and Residence, where we are right now, truly is a perfect addition to the Kenyan hospitality landscape with its environmentally conscious mindset and its perfect blend of city and the nature. Thank you once again.
You look like most of you are business people. So KEPSA is the organization that represents you in conversations with the CAS here. And I'm also chairman of the East African Business Council. So for those of you who are doing business in East Africa, we look after your interests. So when I was coming here, I was reflecting on a conversation that I'd just been having, which was with a large group of investors from Pakistan. And they're all at KICC at a conference, and I hope they're all staying here, Vijay. And they were amazed by the quality of their interactions with people here. But one of the things which was similar to what British people were saying last week when we were in England with the president meeting British investors is they're surprised by all the potential in Kenya and how much despondency there is with everybody talking about how bad the economy is. And they didn't understand that. And they wanted to ask me, in fact, the advisor to the Prime Minister was asking me, why do people in Kenya say the economy's bad when there's so much potential? So as I sat in traffic for 45 minutes from KICC to get here, hoping, Bwana, former IG, I had one of those blue things on my roof to go through traffic. It made me think of that old story that some of you might know in the hotel industry. There was a traveler who was going from town to town to town, and he could never find a good place to spend the night. He finally saw some signs, and there was a brand new hotel. Let's call it Radisson Blu. And he stopped in at the hotel. And when he got there, he was also surprised how nobody outside had a smile on their face. So he took a room. after asking the hotel owner, does it have good mattresses? Are they clean? Good food? All of that. So what's the moral of the story? It's not give away your last $100, or maybe it is. The moral of the story is when every little town along the road is not investing, be like Mr. Kantaria and his friends and invest. Don't build a shabby hotel or keep a shabby hotel like everybody else does. Build a hotel that attracts people to stay. The second message there is pay your goddamn bills. Sorry, I didn't mean that, but Vijay gave me a gin. Pay your bills. If you pay your bills, everybody gets to smile and everybody makes something out of that. And the third thing is in the name of customer service. If it's your last $100, invest in it in giving good customer service, because I can promise you the next time that traveler comes through that town, he'll come back to your hotel. So what can we learn from that little story that about those people? You know, in Kenya, everybody's asking, what's wrong with the economy and what's it going to take? And everybody looks at me and says, what is the government going to do? When I was leaving the Minister of Pakistan, some people from CAM, Kenya Association of Manufacturers, called me over to say, what is the government telling you about what it's going to take, Nick, to make this economy work? And I didn't have time to tell them this story because I was late coming here, but it's what is the private sector going to do to make this economy work? And at the same time, we're going to hear from the CAS, what is it going to take for the government to make sure that the economy works? But I really want to express my huge appreciation for everything that the Kantaria family and their friends are doing. When you look at the Prime Bank, when you look at what they're trying to do in Mombasa, what is happening in Nairobi, what is happening with this beautiful hotel, we are very excited that we've grown in tourism, but it was 2%. Egypt was 20% last year. 20% increase in tourism. And that is not government hotels, that's private sector hotels. So my message to everybody is, look at your own industries, look at what you're doing, and ask yourselves, what are you doing for those lonely travelers, whether they're buying your material, coming to your restaurants, coming to your hotels, coming to your petrol station, whatever it is. What are you doing to make a difference? And are you being like this family and making a difference in Nairobi? So with that, let me say thank you. We are really positive about the prospects this year. That's what we told the people from Pakistan. That's what we told the people from Britain. That's the message to America next week. That's the message to Ethiopia, and so on. And with that bit of positivity, I think we can really make this economy live up to what its potential can be. Thank you, everybody, for the few minutes, and enjoy your drinks.
The developers of this obviously great facility, and all those whom you work with to develop this facility, as you have heard, that it took several man-hours and lots of work to develop. Colleagues from the government, from the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, and as well as other departments, Radisson Group, executives, invited guests, members of the staff of this hotel, members of the fourth estate, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once again. This evening I have a very pleasant duty, which I've done part of it while we were coming downstairs to officially open the hotel. And I'm doing, or rather I'm here on behalf of our Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, the Honorable Najib Balala would have wished to be here, but because of other reasons, he wasn't able to come. So I have this pleasant duty to represent him, which is a lot removed from the previous life that I had that I know many of you know. These are much more pleasant duty. So in the first instance, I wish to, on behalf of the ministry and on behalf of the government of the Republic of Kenya, wish to congratulate the developers of this hotel and the Radisson Hotel Group for this exceedingly magnificent building and facility. Well done. For us, this is a vote of confidence in our country, a vote of confidence in the industry, that despite the lots of negative stuff that you've heard, my good friend Nick say that why do we keep talking about that the country not performing well, you still have the confidence to invest. You still have the confidence to invest in this facility. Well done. The opening of this hotel is a further illustration that there is enormous potential in the tourism sector in this country, as evidenced by the figures the Honorable Minister released a couple of days ago. The performance of the sector was quite good in the year 2019, in that although we grew from a modest sum of 2,025,206 in 2018 to 2,048,834 in 2019, it did not dip, it went up, however modest the figures were. So the coming into being of this facility is a welcome addition to the availability of bed spaces in our capital. I want to commend also developers of this facility for offering to develop the Arboretum into a world-class facility, which will enhance the ambience of this neighborhood. Having said that, as you can all clearly see, that the uniqueness of this facility is a manifestation of the of that new thinking to respond to the demands of the contemporaneous driver, the traveler of today. Today's traveler looks for something unique, something that you may not likely find it elsewhere. They are looking for destinations that offer unique and authentic experiences. And in that respect, I want to once again commend this hotel and the Radisson Group in particular for rising up to that challenge and expectation. You will also recall that a couple of weeks ago, our Kenya Tourist Board, which is represented here today by its CEO, Dr. Odir, launched the Magical Kenya Signature Experience. Of the unique 15 experiences, just about a few are the uniqueness of our beach, in addition rather to our beach and safari offerings. The intention of the ministry is to develop niche markets for our country in the tourism space globally, so that anybody coming to our country will find something that suits their taste. And in that respect, I wish, therefore, to urge the industry to continue being innovative, just as you've seen for yourselves in this facility today, to come up with products and offerings that meets the demands of today's traveler. One of the concerns that the ministry has been grappling with is the pricing models of our hotels. Sometimes the products tend to be rather old and dated. And it is our appeal to you, and that's I'm addressing the wider sector, not this specific group alone, that we rise up to the occasion of meeting to the demands of today's traveler, that they're looking for value for money. Remember that one of the key attractions that we have is our wildlife. And we all know that we do not have exclusive rights to wildlife. A potential traveler, say in Europe, America, or Asia, wishing to visit Africa to sample its wildlife attractions, has a huge range of choices to pick on. So we need to keep attracting those people to come to our country by packaging ourselves in a manner that is attractive, so that we don't outprice ourselves out of the market. Ladies and gentlemen, besides our touristic attractions, we are also big in MICE, and I'm glad the CEO of KICC is right here with us. We are aware that over the last couple of years, we have hosted quite a number of very high-profile meetings, exhibitions, and conferences because of the availability of hotels, for instance, like this one. So the opening of this hotel will give our visitors, those who come to attend meetings, those who come to attend exhibitions, an addition to the number of hotels that they can choose from. We are aware as a ministry that in addition to this one, there are a couple of others that are on stream. We know of 4 that will soon be opening in this city that will give the industry an additional of up to 800 rooms. And that is a vote of confidence, certainly, in the tourism sector in our country. You're also aware that the cruise terminal is complete in Mombasa, and that will open up that very important segment in the tourism sector. Finally, I want to, on behalf of the ministry, confirm that we'll continue supporting the industry, continue supporting the private sector to help grow the industry and help grow the economy of our country. And in closing, on a very personal note, I would like to appeal to our media that we don't operate on the basis that looks like it's all gloom and doom in this country, that nothing good happens here unless you prove it right, unless you prove that there is indeed something good that's happening. There are lots of good things happening in this country. Focus on the good. Don't focus all the time on the things that don't make us look good. There are lots of good things happening all the time in this country, like this event here today. Because this is certainly a world-class facility. Let the world know that we have world-class facilities in this country. Having said all that, I want to once again on behalf of our Cabinet Secretary, on behalf of the ministry, wish to restate or say again that this hotel is officially open. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless you.
The chief guest, Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, Honorable Joseph Boynet. Excellencies, ambassadors, high commissioners, and other members of diplomatic corps, Radisson Hotel Group's District Director of East Africa, Mr. Rob Kosera, the Chairman of the Board of Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Mr. Nicholas Nesbitt, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor to propose a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion of the inaugural opening of the Radisson Blu Hotel and Radisson. On behalf of Radisson Blu Hotel and residents, we extend our gratitude and appreciation to the chief guest, Honorable Joseph Boynet, for gracing this occasion. We are particularly grateful to the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, through the able leadership of the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Najib Bulala, for the support and policy guidance from the inception to this day of inaugurating the hotel. Please pass our regards to the Cabinet Secretary. Let me extend our many thanks to the directors and shareholders of Radisson Blu Hotel and residents for agreeing to be part of this project. Your financial investment, time, and effort has finally paid off with this end product of a magnificent hotel. We will forever treasure our partners, Radisson Group, for extending the franchise to put up this hotel. We value their guidance and technical input throughout the construction of this 5-star boutique hotel. As we admire the design of the hotel, we also acknowledge the architects behind the project. Mr. Keith Koh, Ezra Architect, Singapore, for the classy design. Mr. Nigel Mackenzie, Ime & Partners. We also wish to thank Christine Zhang, interior designer, and Pfizer Woodley for the glazing. They have both flown in from Dubai for this event. We are thankful to D. Manji Construction and all other contractors, consultants who were engaged in this project for their tireless effort and fantastic workshop towards construction of this hotel. Our gratitude goes to the excellencies, the ambassadors, High Commissioner, and other members of diplomatic corps for being here with us today. Special thanks to Mr. Nicholas Nesbitt, the chairman of the board of Kenya Private Sector Alliance, for being with us today. We acknowledge and commend the good work of KEPSA as a private sector umbrella, both in championing for an enabling business environment. Thank you, Mr. Nesbitt. We are truly humbled by all our guests who have traveled from overseas to attend this function. Many thanks to you. Let me place on record our admiration to the management and staff of the hotel for working tirelessly to ensure this event is a success. Our appreciation goes to members of the Fourth Estate for their immense support to the success of today's opening. In conclusion, for an event of this magnitude, we might have inadvertently missed out some names. It is not intended to diminish or overlook your useful contribution which we recognize immensely. Thank you all for attending this event. All the very best. God bless.
Now, we have a presentation, one for the CAS and the other one for the CS, despite the fact that he didn't make it here. We appreciate the fact that their input has been absolutely valuable for this establishment and for the entire industry as a whole. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. Makofi, as we do the presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.